But first this week, you would have seen headlines and extensive coverage on a silly American girl who became among the most hated people in Australia after posting this footage of herself manhandling a baby wombat.
Look at the mother. It's like, oh, it's chasing after her.
I caught a baby wombat. Okay, Mama's right there, and she is pissed. Let's let him go.
No, he's right.
All right, let's let him go. Come here, Mama. Come here.
Social media influencer Sam Jones, they're dangling a Joey in front of the cameras. I've got to say, watching that as an animal lover, I was absolutely disgusted. You can see the animal's distressed mother following her. And no wonder Australians were furious and demanding this girl be deported. And as I wrote in the Herald Sun, those calls for deportation were numerous and entirely valid. Be gone, woman, and she is. But the only thing that could be said in her favour is that there was no malice in her actions. She's stupid, not cruel. She wasn't some sociopath getting a thrill from terrifying a helpless animal. And the Joey and its mother were soon reunited, unharmed. It was a very different story a few years ago when footage of a South Australian police officer, Waylon Johncock, stoning a terrified wombat to death by hurling large rocks at it went viral. That sickening footage was enough to have the officer come under police attention. You think he'd be sacked and, I don't know, charged, imprisoned for such blatant animal cruelty. But no, that's not what happened, and I'll explain why shortly. Now, the video of that killing is too distressing, naturally, to show you here. But in the footage, the off-duty police officer throws rock after rock, hitting the helpless animal and causing it to topple over. He then raises his arms in triumph and smiles at the camera as the animal struggles on the ground. It really was, in my mind, unspeakably cruel. But despite the entire incident being on camera, the footage going viral and authorities assuring us that they would act, well, nothing happened to the officer because it emerged that he is Indigenous and his behaviour is protected. Yes, he escaped any sort of punishment because the heinous behaviour I just described is protected under the Native Title Act. You see, under this Act, Indigenous Australians are permitted to hunt species that are otherwise protected. And that includes using methods that can be disturbingly cruel. That is what allowed the wombat killer to dodge charges. The South Australian Police Commissioner, Grant Stevens, released a statement at the time explaining why Officer Johncock wouldn't be charged or face disciplinary action beyond being counselled over his use of social media. Seriously. Commissioner Grant said, as a traditional Aboriginal man, the senior community constable has an appropriate permit to hunt wombats for food. Even if you believe the wombat was killed to be eaten, it's shameful that we have a legal system with two sets of rules depending on one's skin colour or ethnicity. Wombats are not the only protected species that are killed in this manner. The unchecked, unmonitored cruelty of traditional hunting results in protected dugongs and even endangered sea turtles being routinely slaughtered on Australian shores. It's wrong, it's a national disgrace, and it has to stop. Peter Dutton should tackle this issue head on. If we've learnt anything this week, is that Australians feel very strongly about animal cruelty. It is an issue that crosses political lines, and it's time our laws were consistent. The Native Title Act must be changed to reflect modern Australian values.